Heritage Alliance Church, welcome to Conversations with me, Chris. Let's find out where we're going today and who we're going to talk to.
Well, David, Matilda's, and Lucas and Lydia joining us today too. That's really great. Thanks for joining us. As I explained in the introduction segment here, I said, you guys are in Jamaica, which is partially true, but not completely true. Why don't you guys explain the exact situation you're in right now?
So we are here in Kingston, Jamaica. We are currently berthed just outside the Caribbean cement factory. So it's a wonderful view when we wake up in the morning. But we are currently not allowed to get off the ship, and this is government regulations. Even the berth where we're at, we're far away from anything around us. But even then, we are not allowed to go on the quay side unless we really, really have to. So that means I can go down usually once every 2 weeks to go and bring in the local food deliveries. But other than that, we haven't touched dry ground for about 60 plus days.
60 days. Wow. That is a long time. I mean, people around here have been locked up in their houses for going on 6 weeks now for some people, but not touching dry ground in that length of time is quite a feat. So how are you hanging in there? How are things going? Everybody staying sane?
Yeah, I think it's the same. It just depends on the Lord each day. And this way. Mm-hmm.
And for you guys? Lucas, Lydia, how's it going for you? Being on the ship? Yeah, having lots of fun?
Yes. Yeah.
So for those in the church who don't know, you guys are serving with OM, Operation Mobilization, aboard the ship Logos Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Fill us in, for those who don't know, what exactly does that mean? What do you guys do? And what does a normal day on the ship look like for you guys before COVID?
You can start.
Okay, I start. The ship has this goal to share knowledge, help, and hope to the nation. So everywhere when we go, every country where we are, the goal is really get the people on board on shore and get the people offshore on board, so we can have that beautiful interaction where we can share the love of God with those that we meet. So, and then the plan is to have like thousands of people coming on board every day for events, conferences, and tours and meetings. It's like busy, hundreds of thousands of people each day. And this was before the lockdown. Especially when you're in Brazil, we have like lines of, 5 hours, people on the line to come on board, and they would just come in and through. And so it's really a live place, like lots of people. With the lockdown, this has been very different because since March 12th is where the doors closed down to the public, so we cannot really have that interaction with the locals. And in the first few days was a little bit like, oh Lord, so what's the purpose of this all now? What can we do if you're here to share your love with the public, but we cannot be with them, But the Lord has really, really, be working in us and through us and give a lot of wisdom to our leadership. And I think the same is happening in the church as well, learning new platforms where we can do what we need to do, what we're here to do. Has been a beautiful experience to learn these new tools, and on board is still very, very active. There is lots of trainings going on, and ministry trainings and events.
But a typical day before COVID would have looked breakfast, community breakfast, 7 o'clock. Then we get together for devotions for 45 minutes, 7:45 or so, and then the day just starts rolling through. So we open up the bookshop that's on board. That's usually open about 10 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evening. And then there's onboard events, conferences, different things like that. We have schools that come on board. So there's a lot of stuff that would kind of be doing that. And then there's also teams that would go out every day to do local work in the countries that we're in. So whether it's going to visit schools, whether prisons, churches,
Building
whatever it may,
houses,
building houses, whatever it may be.
feeding the people.
Wow. So I said also in the intro that you guys are serving around the world. I see the world behind you. Where exactly have you been? Like, where have you been stopping off recently? Obviously before Jamaica.
So I mean, we started off, we joined the ship in Chile, a little town called Lurkin. And then from there, we kind of sailed down, went around the Point Arenas, which is pretty much as low as you can get, and then went up to Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, multiple ports in each country, and then we came into the Caribbean to Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, and now Jamaica.
Jamaica. And you were supposed to be transiting the Atlantic by now, I believe.
Yeah, we were supposed to be in Europe by now, yeah.
And plans have changed because Sophie and I, for those who don't know, were supposed to be visiting you in Belgium in August.
Yep.
And by now you're supposed to be in, I believe, Ireland, sorry? Ireland, yeah. So that's not happened. What's the foreseeable future look like for you guys? How long do you expect to be on the ship in Jamaica?
You go for that?
That is a very good question that many leaders on shore are still working out and hashing out the details for that. I mean, there's some exciting things happening. I mean, overall, we don't know, but the details are happening on shore that we're waiting for.
Yeah, you know, like Bible verse that sometimes you just talk about, but all of a sudden you feel like you have to really, really rely on them. So things like trust in the Lord with all your heart, you know.
Absolutely.
Be not in your own understand, you know. All those things, because everything that was planned out 6 months, a year in advance, the teams have already been sent out. We have people like in different parts of the globe that they were preparing the ports for the ship to come, and then they could never come back. So it's just like there are a lot of change, many things we planned. It's being in a different way. But it's very comforting to know that the Lord knows and that we can trust Him. So we are excited. I think overall we are very excited because we know He is at work. And just so beautiful to be part of it and be like, okay, Lord, we don't know where we're going to go, when we're going to go, but we know that you know. So we just follow each day and help us keep our eyes fixed on you. And that's how we leave you today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line, isn't it? If we knew everything, we would be God, and we don't want to be God. So we have to be okay with Him knowing things that we don't.
For sure.
And so, I mean, that brings me to the question, what do you guys, ministry was supposed to look one way. As we've talked before, David, ministry does not look at all like what it was going to look like for you guys. So how are you seeing God's work happening in the changed reality for you guys?
So, I mean, a lot of it is happening now just a bit more on board. So my role on board is the catering manager. So I'm the one who's the head of the galley, so providing 3 meals a day, managing the stores. And the team is about 40 people from about 20 plus countries. So that there is a fantastic area for doing ministry, of working with the I call them young people. I mean, I guess I can, who are in the department, helping them through the situations and just helping walking life with them. So the ministry now is a bit more, do you want to say, a bit more inward towards the team on board.
Yeah, investing in people's lives around your close community as opposed to the global community.
But it's also using opportunities like these to contact more people outside. We never had time to do a video like this or as much communication, but we're noticing more that's becoming a bit more part of our day.
Yeah. So Lydia, I got a question for you. I hear you have been dancing. Is true? So what things have you been doing on the ship that are a little different to what you would have been doing back home?
Well, it isn't so different than back home. Like, I still go to school, I play with my friends, But the difference is like I don't have to drive to play with my friends. I can just walk to their cabins.
Ah, yes, that's nice. See, here people can't get together with their friends at the minute, so at least you have yours in your house there, hey?
It's a very big house.
No kidding. And Lucas,
Passion groups, though.
for people who... Oh, go ahead.
What passion groups are you involved in?
There's passion groups on board, and one of the passion groups that I'm mainly involved in is worship dance.
Ah, awesome. And what does that mean? Like, what do? You get
Like,
together with a
there's
group of people?
Like it's like there's some kids and then we just practice dances and sometimes we can perform them and yeah.
Awesome.
For
Awesome.
example, even here in Jamaica, before they ship close to the public, we have like a women's conference. So the girls on board, they go and they do this worship song and they do the moves there for the event for the conference.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And Lucas, for those who don't know, you used to play percussion in my worship band. And I saw some photos recently of a little band on stage with a certain guy playing some percussion. So what are you getting up to on the ship?
Super playing percussions on board.
Yeah?
I just went to tell my dad, which was on the school, went to school budget per night on board. And I worked with percussion passion groups.
Awesome.
So, just for everyone's, a passion group is pretty much like a group of individuals that gets together once a week to learn either new skills or their passions. So that's what the worship dance is. There's a drumming passion group. There's languages, a cappella. There's all sorts of different groups that you can get involved in.
Awesome.
Learn new skills and everything like that. So,
wow, that's cool. So, we talked about the sad stuff, COVID, how that's affecting things. Why don't each of you tell me, like, what has been the highlight of the last, however long you've been serving? What is it now? It's over a year. I know that much.
A year, 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah,
3 months.
May.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what have been the highlights? Like, give me a rundown. What are those big wow moments for you?
I think for me, sometimes, even though it has been past over a year, some days, almost every day, is like, Lord, is this really true? Like, I still don't believe that we are here. We dreamed for so long to be here, and just amazed to be in a community with, right now, the community is a bit smaller than before because some people had to leave. The commitment's finished. And so we are about 350 people on board. And it's from more than 60 different nations. And just to hear the story of everybody, how the Lord work in their lives and how they come to this far, it's just for me, just like, wow, that's so amazing. So to be here each day and to have the opportunity to share the love of God with people from around the world and encourage them in their journey as well has been one of my highlights for sure. And definitely seeing people come to faith, like when you just like chat with somebody on board or sometimes on shore, and you just share what the Lord has been doing in your life, who He is, and see them really having that, oh yeah, I want that, you know. That has been a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Awesome.
I think for myself, I mean, it is tied into Matilda's because when we came back, we were looking at a lot of ministering more to the crew as opposed to outside. So for me, it's seeing different, because we have changeovers every 6 months. So new crew, we have about 25% changeover in September and February. So working in the catering, you get new people in there, they come in there, their skill levels and things like that are all over the place. Being able to walk with them and encourage them and seeing a growth and maturity in them, knowing that you're setting them up and perfectly have skills that they can use for the future. But it's also seeing God's provision through many different times, whether it's containers coming in, whether it's protection against spiritual stuff, whatever it may be, that's seeing that in a bit more of a real life for us.
It's been fantastic catching up with you, but for those who, again, don't know, how can people stay in touch and make sure they keep up to date with what is going on with you guys over there? wherever that may be across the world.
Yeah, I mean, we have WhatsApp, we have our email. Email is a primary way, but we do have WhatsApp now that we're Zoom, and it seems to work well on the ship.
Mm.
It also can be a way, too, that we can also stay in contact if anybody does want to have a conversation with us. So, I mean, if you need to email the church office, and then they can send off your contact details to us, and then we can contact
Get in touch with you. Perfect. And for those of us sitting here with time on our hands because we're not working or we're confined to our houses, what can people be doing to support you? What can they pray for you? How can they come alongside and support your ministry?
Well, thanks so much for this question. It's really a good one. All of them has been good. But how they can support us, for sure, praying for us. Pray for continual wisdom. I just feel like each day we need a lot of wisdom. And it's not like wisdom of just natural knowledge, you know. Especially for our leaders, I feel like we need to have like some sort of supernatural wisdom for how to respond to this very changing world that we are living in a way that we can shine the love of Christ to those who especially does not know him yet. And if we cannot get close to them, so how can we do that? I learn how to use the new platforms that we have to really maximize the goal of seeing people from every tribe and language come before the Lord. So how can we do that in this new changing world? Put ourselves on board as well, like continued health. Everybody, thank goodness everybody's healthy. So just continue praying for us in that way. And yeah.
And then also, I mean, just wisdom. Because as Matilda's has a bit more free time, a lot of the younger ladies come and talk to her, and as they're kind of dealing with things, either stuff that's coming up, their past or whatever it may be. So she's mentoring quite a few young ladies. And then also for me, as I'm just running a department that is rather large and a variety of nationalities, and and everyone it's starting to wear on people a little bit. And so it is, so wisdom, I think, is the other thing.
Yeah, but to tell you the truth, like it's one thing when you're so like busy. I think it's the same at home as well. Like when you're home with the staff, we have no time almost to breathe. You're always in the run. So at this locking down time has been kind of a refreshing time, I think, for many of us around the world, that we have time to be with ourselves and with the Lord and really reevaluate what's the purpose of everything, and to see that on board as well. Like majority of the crew, they are in the early 20s, so like 80% of them, I would say. And to see like you get up 5:30, 6 o'clock, go around, you already see people like praying the Bible and in small groups in the dining room, and seeing the growth. This is really beautiful to see. So yeah, it's been a little bit of we cannot go on shore. We have been walking method for over 60 days and not step on the grass. I think next time we step on the grass, we're gonna be like, wow, that's how it feels like. But everything is an experience. We are very, very thankful that we're here. Thank you so much for the support of the church and the prayers. We have been, we feel it for sure. If it was in any other circumstances, I think it would be like, oh man, how can you survive? But the Lord is good. He's definitely good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We certainly miss you guys around here. Look forward to the day when you do return, whenever that may be. And mine and Sophie's tickets are still booked. We hope to see you in August. We'll see if that happens or not. But thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sharing what's going on with you guys. And we hope to talk to you again some point soon.
For sure.
Thank you so much.